Hello, hello,
Hello, how are you?
hello. I'm good. Thank you. I'm good. Thank you. How about you?
I'm very good, thanks.
Mhm.
Okay, start me off. What's your name?
My name is Yasu.
Mm-hmm. And where are you
Um,
from, Yasu?
I'm from Japan, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
living in the capital city, Tokyo.
Okay, and what do you do, Yasu? Do you work or are you a student?
I'm working for medical device company. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Explain to me a little bit more about what that entails. You work for a medical device company, so what do you exactly do?
I'm my position is in like repair department, but
Mm-hmm.
my background is totally different. I used to be in quality side just
Mm-hmm.
until last year. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing something new right now.
Mm-hmm. And why did you change your job?
Because my my company
Mm-hmm.
transferred me to different department because
Okay.
the department that I am in now is
Mm-hmm.
most of the people are quite how to say in the late 50s.
So
So
older.
yeah, all
Yeah.
older. So
Yeah.
the problem is that like how to say they
They needed some they needed some young blood,
yeah and
yeah, or some younger
yeah.
people.
So I was chosen as replacement.
Hmm.
So I didn't hope such a transfer, but
Hmm.
yeah, I accept it, and
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. Do you like it?
not really. Just every day is like how do you say routine work.
Hmm.
So, but that's not challenging, but
Hmm.
I have to work to survive.
Okay. Yeah. Don't we all? Okay. Brilliant. Um,
Okay, so
tell me,
I'm sorry. Your name is Tim.
Tim,
Tim. Okay, nice to meet you.
Tim. Nice to meet you, Yasu. Tell me a little bit about yourself, Yasu. I can sense that maybe you've studied somewhere. You had some time in England. Did you live in England or spend some time in England?
Um,
Or no, always in Japan?
England. Just I I've never taken any courses at college
Mm.
in England, but
Hmm.
but when I was like younger, now when I was university student, I
Hmm.
just went to the English school in the city of Oxford for
Okay.
a few months. The
Hmm.
so
Because
yeah,
you've got a very good accent, is what I mean. It's a compliment. You've got a very good accent. You speak with I can tell that you've obviously had some English training with an English person because you speak with an English,
yeah.
more of an English accent than an American accent, which is why I say that.
Uh,
Okay.
so yeah, but yeah, I think in Japan,
Hmm.
American English uh, and like Canadian English, yeah,
Hmm.
it's basically English spoken in North America is
Hmm.
taught in Japan.
Hmm.
So yeah, when I went to England for the first time in my life, I was so
Hmm.
surprised that I thought like it was totally different language.
It's, it's very
Yeah,
different.
very
Very
different.
different.
Yeah,
British English to American English.
yeah.
Yeah.
English is English, but I thought it was quite different. So,
Ah.
but but I thought that British English sounds more beautiful for me, and
Mm-hmm.
and yeah. So, but yeah, I really like British English than
Mm-hmm.
way better than American.
Okay, good. Excellent. Great. Well, there's no difference really. For me, the only condition that I would say is that if you want to speak British English,
Mm-hmm.
speak British English. If you want to speak American English, speak American English.
Mm-hmm.
But don't mix the two
Yeah,
because then it gets
yeah,
confusing.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but they're both the same as Australian English and South African English,
Mm-hmm.
and Canadian English,
Mm-hmm.
all different types.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Yasu, tell me what you like to do in your free time.
Free time. I like listening to music, and
Hmm.
like I like having a cup of tea and coffee at like at like cafe.
Hmm.
And I have when I am on holiday, long holiday,
Hmm. Hmm.
I like, yeah, I travel abroad,
Hmm.
and I do like hiking. I like going to the gym.
Hmm.
Yeah, actually, last night I went to the gym, and I did too much for my body, so right now I have body injury, bit
Yeah.
painful.
Bit painful.
Painful.
Good. Excellent. Fantastic. Well, not fantastic because you're sore. You feel, oh, you got some injuries.
Yeah.
But okay, good. Talk to me about music. What music do you like to listen to?
Yeah. Essentially, I really like um uh late 19 and early 20 pop punk.
Okay.
Like,
Excellent.
and my favorite band is Blink 182. Do you know?
Hmm. I know Blink 182. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah,
Yeah. I
uh,
think we're probably more or less the same age, no? How old are you, Yasu?
33.
Yeah, me as well. So
Uh,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
from your, I know Blink 182. Yeah, good.
yeah,
Well,
and
do
yeah,
I?
and the Offspring,
Mhm.
Good Charlotte, Sum 41,
Mhm.
Weezer,
Yeah.
and I like some British band too, like
Mhm.
Oasis, Franz Ferdinand, Snow Patrol,
Mhm.
and I do also like emo, like
Mhm.
My Chemical Romance.
Romance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rome. Yeah.
I remember I went to watch. There's a band called Hot Hot Heat. Have you heard of that band called Hot Hot Heat?
I haven't.
But they played when I was maybe 17 or 18. They played a gig, and I went with my friends to watch them play.
Uh-huh.
And they supporting them were Franz Ferdinand, and Franz Ferdinand were
Mm-hmm.
unknown. So I could always say that I saw Franz Ferdinand before they were famous.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I turned to my friend and I said, these guys are going to be huge. And about
Oh,
six months later, they were really big. But no, it was a fantastic time for music. I
yeah,
was
yeah.
always more of a fan of the Strokes for my bands when I was
Strokes. Mm-hmm.
the Strokes, good bands.
Mm-hmm.
But there we are. Now, oof, different. Okay, brilliant. Talk to me about your last holiday. Where did you go?
Last holiday, I went to the UK
Hmm.
for like in total of like 20 days,
Hmm.
and I traveled like from London went up to Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
That travel is my third time to England, but it was my very first trip to Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and did you like it, Scotland?
Yeah, absolutely stunning. Edinburgh, particularly Edinburgh is so nice, but I didn't really understand Scottish people.
Me as well. I understand.
You are native English speaker, but you don't really understand them.
It's like in Glasgow, in Edinburgh, it's okay because they speak pretty well, but in Glasgow, impossible to understand. So yeah, it's not. You're not alone in being unable to understand Scottish people because it's a difficult accent and they speak very, very quick. But that's no problem. But you enjoyed it. Good time.
Yeah, but I think in the UK, even they speak English, but within UK, there are so many, I think, accent and dialect, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, even if you look at London, so London as a city has at least 4 very distinct accents. You know, the accent in the north of London is different to the south of London, which is different to the east and different to the west. So it's very normal to have a city or 2 cities, maybe 20 kilometers apart from each other, and the accent is different.
Okay.
So it makes everything very interesting.
So
okay.
So do you mind tell me which part of UK you're from?
This is a very good question, Yasu. So I was born in Birmingham, which is the center of the United Kingdom, the center of England.
Okay.
But my family's from the south, from Southampton, and my father was a fireman. So we moved to lots of different cities when I was growing up.
Okay.
So, and now I live in Spain. I've lived in Spain for 6 years almost. So I have a very, very neutral accent. So it's an accent from nowhere. It's an English accent, but it's not a particular city.
Okay.
I mean, if you want, I can put an accent on if it makes you feel better. If you want a different accent, I can do it, but better for teaching that I just keep this accent. So it's very good for teaching because obviously my accent is very clear, but it doesn't have a particular place. There's no because I've moved around too much. But yeah, so my parents, I suppose, my parents live in the east, live near Cambridge, a city called Norwich.
Okay.
But there's a different accent again, different accent from everywhere else. Good. Yes. So talk to me, please, about hiking. Did you go hiking in Scotland?
Hiking in Scotland. Yeah, because some Scottish people recommended me to go to Scottish island called Skye, but as my time there was so limited that I didn't have an opportunity to go there, but some English people said like the best part of the UK is not city but nature. So next time when I visit there, I will definitely go to the Scottish island Skye, and I also really would like to go to Lake District. And
Why?
Because they also recommended me.
Okay.
And
Okay. Good.
hiking, but my last hiking I did in foreign country is 2 years ago. When I went to Norway, a Nordic country, I did good hiking.
Okay. Brilliant. Well done. What about in Japan? Can you go hiking a lot in Japan?
Yeah, last May and last June, I went hiking within Tokyo. There's there's a mountain which is not too high and not small, not high and not low. So medium size.
Yeah.
And the course isn't like how to say too steep. So it was easy for my knee, and yeah, the weather was perfect for hiking. And yeah, compared to the highest mountain in Japan called Mount Fuji, it looked just how to say, just a hill.
Yeah. Great.
But yeah, it was great hiking.
Have you been up Mount Fuji? Have you climbed Mount Fuji?
I haven't one, but yeah, someday. Yeah, I hope.
Good. Brilliant. Well done. Talk to me about Tokyo. It's a very big city, no? How many people live in Tokyo?
Tokyo, how many people? Some 100 million. No, some million.
100 million.
So, some million.
Some millions.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Some million. Some million people live in Tokyo. But yeah, now I'm really enjoying the Tokyo life. But
Are you from Tokyo originally?
no,
Or are you?
I am originally from countryside, and I am my hometown. My home country is in like southwest Japan. That is which is like more than 1,000 kilometers away from Tokyo.
Well, 1,000. Okay, 1,000 kilometers. 1,000 kilometers away from Tokyo. Okay.
Yeah, and
so it's a big distance. No,
yeah,
it's quite a. So how long does it take you to get home? If you want to go home to see your family, how long does it take you to get home?
By plane, it takes like 1.5 hours. And by really fast train, express train, like 6 hours, 7 hours.
Okay, so what made you decide to move to Tokyo?
I used to work in the headquarters in the city of Osaka.
Osaka, yeah.
But nearly 6 years ago, I was transferred to Tokyo office because one person, my colleague, retired due to old age. So I was chosen as a replacement. So yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you have a choice, or was that just you're going to Tokyo?
I didn't have. I have no choice.
Yeah.
Accept.
So it was either
Accept or leave the company.
leave the company. It sounds very. I mean, obviously, it's a very. It sounds quite a harsh, a very strict regime. You
Yeah,
must go to Tokyo. We're sending you to Tokyo,
yeah,
and you have to leave your friends, your family behind. I mean, obviously, it's not a difficult decision because Tokyo is a fantastic city. It's
yeah,
a big city,
yeah.
but if it was maybe to a smaller city, maybe it's a more difficult decision.
Yeah, 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 exactly, exactly. But yeah, I was so lucky because yeah, now I'm really enjoying the modern culture, modern city life. But
Hmm.
yeah, in fact, there are so many people who are transferred to really rural area from
Hmm.
really big city.
Hmm.
And yeah, compared to such sort of people, uh, I have to say I'm so lucky.
Yeah. Did you find it a bit of a culture shock when you moved to Tokyo to go from, well, Osaka is not a small city, but
Hmm.
Tokyo is the capital. Everything is in Tokyo. Did you find it quite a shock to the system to go from
Hmm.
a normal sized city to a really big city like Tokyo, or was it quite
Mm.
easy to adjust?
The one thing I'm surprised is like yeah, yeah, within Japan there's a dialect,
Hmm.
and here in Tokyo people speak Tokyo dialect. But
Hmm.
yeah, as I am originally from Western Japan, um, I I I do understand what they say, but they don't understand what I say
Really?
in my dialect. Yeah,
It's like being Scottish.
yeah, yeah, like yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm Japanese version of Scottish. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. Okay. Right. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're just going to stop
Mm,
um, and just go through some things. And then we should have, depending on how long it takes us to go through these things,
mm.
we'll have probably maybe 2 or 3 minutes just to talk about one more thing before we finish today. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So um, obviously there are always going to be problems with different languages.
Mm,
Japanese people have a problem with the letter R,
yeah, yeah,
So you've just got to be aware of that. And, language is about communication. That's what language is for.
yeah.
So I can understand you perfectly.
Ah, thank
So
you.
that's not an issue.
Hmm.
Okay. If you want to lose my accent, well, you don't really have an accent. It's not a big accent. If you want to be completely correct,
Hmm.
that would be something that I would say pronunciation wise, you need to be careful of.
Hmm.
Just like you need to be careful of words like replacement, for
Replacement.
example.
Hmm.
Yeah, the L, what happens again with Japanese speakers is that you replace that L, it sounds a little bit like replacement. So you put an R
Hmm.
instead of an L.
Hmm.
Okay, so just those two things which are normal. Every Japanese speaker has them. It's not a big issue, not a big problem,
Hmm.
but those are two pronunciation points. Okay,
Okay. Hmm.
just be careful about those things. Um, you say that your job is routine. Maybe we could use a better word. If we wanted to have a nicer word, we can use this word, which is uh, mono- monotonous. So same thing every day. It's
Monoto
monotonous.
mono mon monotonous.
Monotonous.
Monotonous. So
Monotonous. It's a good word.
okay, monotonous. So stress is on no no
Monotonous.
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 Oh, mm-hmm,
So uh, English is a very interesting language in many ways,
mm-hmm,
especially spoken English.
mm-hmm,
So if you look at my mouth when I speak,
mm-hmm,
you notice that my mouth doesn't move
mm-hmm.
more than the width of my little finger
Okay.
because we're lazy. English people are very late, or British people are very lazy. So everything I'm doing is not done with the mouth; it's done with the tongue.
Okay.
Okay. Which is probably for I don't know. I don't speak Japanese. I speak Spanish, and the problem that Spanish speakers have is that they're much more expressive with their mouth. So they use their mouth a lot more to speak.
Okay.
So, and so the vowel sounds are much brighter. So everything in English is dark. All the vowel sounds. So monotonous would be the way we say it. This is a Latin word, so it would be, which is the problem there. Okay.
Okay.
You use some great expressions, way better. Some great colloquial expressions you have, which you've learned, and you use them well. You use them correctly. Yeah, you said to me it was way better. That's great. You know, all these colloquial expressions. Obviously, you've learnt them, and you've learnt to use them correctly, and that really helps. Helps you. You said to me that you went to the gym, and that you felt like you had an injury. We maybe say I feel sore or stiff. If you're stiff, all your muscles are very, I feel stiff or I feel sore. Okay. Just be careful with trip and travel. Travel is a verb. It's not a noun. Trip. So my last trip.
Okay.
Okay. We can't say my last travel. Technically, that's incorrect. Okay. Again, that's one of those things. Just be careful. Sometimes you missed out some prepositions. Recommended me, recommended to me. Okay. When you're talking about the Isle of Skye, some Scottish people recommended to me that I went hiking. I did, yeah, and hiking again, you can't really say you said I did a good hiking. In this context, I had a good hike. Okay, but hiking in this context is a noun, but you would have to use, and the reason at the moment I haven't got my grammar book to hand. I need to investigate why it is, but to have a good hike is better, is correct. Hiking wouldn't be correct. The reason is I can't tell you immediately why that is the reason, but that is the reason. When we're talking about how steep or how shallow something is, so steep like Mount Fuji, and shallow is the opposite.
Shallow.
Shallow, okay, but that's known as the gradient. The gradient, okay. So the gradient of a mountain, how steep or shallow, okay. Just be careful with how long it takes you to fly. In your aeroplane to fly home, it takes 1.5 hours, not 1.5 hours. Okay. Okay. And again, just a small thing about one of my colleagues retired. One of my colleagues.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And that's about it. That's all there really was wrong. So you speak very well. Obviously, it's just a case of getting some more fluency. As you say here, you say improve my fluency. And you say to be able to think in English. So at the moment you think in Japanese when you speak in English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it makes it very difficult.
So what I have to do to lose such a habit? That, I mean, translating from Japanese into English is like just a practice. Practice.
I'm sorry. There's no easy fix. So you can have a look. On your mobile phone. You can download this app called BBC Sounds, which is all the radio stations in Britain, and just watch a lot of television with some paper like this and write down the words. But you're doing all the right things because you're listening to expressions and you're using them correctly. And talking, on Cambly, for example, just talk to more people and just keep on going. Fantastic,
Okay.
Yasu. Okay, really well
Okay.
done.
Thank you.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.